AI slop is everywhere, even in the design world. But is it any good? Let's review this plan, see what it got right, and see what it got wrong. The biggest issue I often see is the inability to scale objects or spaces. The exterior walls of this plan are off from what this AI-generated image shows. And when we overlay the interior walls, the scale issues just jump off the rails. Based off of these dimensions, this is where these walls should lie, and you can see they don't align with AI's plan. Now, AI actually got a lot of the kitchen dimensions right, with proper scale and proportion for the kitchen appliances and the sink. But the layout and function of the space is a little choppy and chaotic. In the living room, the sofa is comically narrow, even for an apartment-sized piece of furniture. And if we add in a regular-sized sofa, we can start to see the space get quite cramped. In the bathrooms, both bathroom doors collide with the vanities, and neither of the bathroom spaces meet the minimum code requirements for toilet or bathing spaces. The showers are too narrow to be functional, and again, the scale issues have just gone off the rails. While both bedrooms are on the small side, they actually work just fine. There's a little bit of a conflict accessing all the storage in this bedroom, and this back bedroom doesn't actually have a window to the outdoors for egress. But can we fix this plan? To start, I'll keep the exterior to the same 6 meter by 9 meter size, but I am going to change out the front window and door. And because both the bedroom scales worked with the previous design, I'll keep this center wall where it is. Now, both of these bathrooms were too small in numerous areas, and the designs didn't meet basic code requirements. But I think if we combine both those spaces into one central bath, we'll have enough room for a bathroom like this. This top bedroom has good circulation around the bed and full access to the wardrobe. The bottom bedroom remains the same, but the real win is this bathroom, where we're able to fit a full-sized tub shower combo, and we have proper spacing for a toilet. We also have enough room to add a piece of millwork in the hallway. This adds needed storage to the space, and we can use that space for linens and cleaning supplies. Now, to make the living space feel as large as possible, I think it's important to identify a clear and open path of circulation. This allows us to program the adjacent spaces. So let's start with the front entry. We can add a coat closet for storage. We can add a full-size sofa in the living room, which is large enough for you to stretch out on and be comfortable. And for the dining space, we can add a dining table with a built-in bench. This bench saves some space in an already tight plan. And if we add a mobile side table, we create an extra seat at the dining table, or we add a side table where you can place a drink or remote from the sofa. Or you can pull it out as a footrest for when multiple people are using the space. In the kitchen, we add our sink and stove with counter spaces on both sides. And we add an entire wall of tall cabinets for storage. An important detail here is to pull the fridge away from the wall, so the fridge door can open all the way up, and you can pull all the interior drawers out. But we do need to consider where the hot water tank's going to go. So if we take just a little bit of room from this bedroom, we can create a deeper cavity that hides the hot water tank in a tall cabinet, and it allows us to nest the fridge a little deeper in the space. This opens up the cooking space in the kitchen. Now back to the living room, I'll add a small entry bench and an area rug to help define the entry space. It gives us a place to store our shoes and prevent dirt and debris from spreading into the rest of the home. Next, I'll add a media console that's the same height and depth as the entry bench. This makes the space feel a little more expansive. And I can add a small mobile bench at the end that tucks off to the side. This can also double as a footrest when pulled out, act as a coffee table, but it has a natural place to sit and live in the space. It really turns this small living space into a functional and social space. The few mobile stools that I've added from the dining table and from beside the media console give the space a lot of flexibility. And lastly, if we add windows at the back of the home, we can make this into a legal 2-bedroom unit with lots of natural light in the kitchen. I'm not a fan of AI slop, and I think it takes away from the human element. It ignores, or maybe it doesn't understand, how to make spaces feel comfortable. It doesn't understand the why. And the why is something I think a lot of humans struggle with when designing spaces. Understanding what makes a quality and functional space and the ability to solve problems is the job. The floor plan is just the end result of all of those decisions. Software doesn't design, it's just a fancy tool, kind of like a pencil. You still have to know how to use it. AI is just another tool we have at our disposals, but it's not a creator. The skill of designing spaces for humans to live in is the real tradecraft. Now, AI will likely get there, but for now, I think we took a pretty bad plan and made it pretty good. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below.